Alright, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. As you can see, we are in the house. It's about 104 heat index outside. I'm sweating. I was working outside. Something I did already do but didn't really like whenever I started reviewing it. So I made an announcement the other day on the community page. Not very active on there, but we kind of, I guess you could say, partnered or got a sponsorship from a brand, PISCIFUN. Now, PISCIFUN, they sent me some reels. Things about PISCIFUN is they kind of pride themselves with being cost affordable. That's why when they kind of reached out to me, I kind of jumped to the chance to work with them to showcase some of their reels and to see if their reels stood up to saltwater is the most important thing. So they sent me 3 reels. Now, I've already unboxed them, already got them on rods. These aren't going to be the first impressions, but instead of doing like the traditional unboxing, I'm going to go through, I'm going to tell you kind of their specs off their box. I'm going to tell you what rods I put them on and how I intend to use them. One of them I've already used and I'm actually very pleased with it already. So without further ado, let's start opening these reels. So the first one we're going to do is actually going to be the smallest one that I got from them. It's going to be their Kardiac 2 in the 3000 size. Now this is going to retail for $84.99. They gave me a code. You're going to get an additional 15% off if you use my code. I'll put it in the link and I'm going to pop it on the screen right now. Use that code and you'll get another 15% off. This is the reel that I've actually already used. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and show it to y'all. So this is the Kardiac 3000. All matte black finish. It's got a little water on there because it's actually using it midday today. I took the boat out to get some trails on it and stretch the legs, and so here we go. Here's the Kardiac. This is the Kardiac 2 3000 matte black finish. We have 15-pound braid line, main line. We're having a 20-pound leader attached to that, and this is on a 7.6 medium light with a fast tip. So this is a very light rod. It's essentially a trout rod is what I've been using it for, but I like to throw anytime I'm in the bay and even on the jetties. Y'all know, if you've seen some of my videos, I like to free line those live shrimp, and when I'm out in the bay I always downsize. I don't like throwing big 5-6 inch paddle tails or soft plastics. I always go small. So I like to throw 3/16 and 1/8 ounce jig heads with 4-inch paddle tails, 4-inch and smaller. Chicken boys, they got a smaller profile. I like to throw those kind of lures. So this is what we're using on it. We're using the 3000 Kardiac 7.6 medium light. All 3 of these rods that these reels are on, I built. I've already used this reel and I'm very impressed with it. This thing casts a mile. This 15-pound braid I think is the sweet spot for the reel. But I really love it already. Smooth drag. I've already used it 3 or 4 times and there's no weird sounds coming from it from washing it. I've only just been washing it off. I'm not treating these reels any differently. I want to speak honestly about how they hold up. So I'm treating them just like all my other reels. Just washing it off after use, and yeah, it's got a smooth drag. I caught a redfish on it. I'm gonna do a catch and cook. My GoPro is all tilted all weird, but you can hear that drag going on this reel. It is a lighter reel, even this 3000. If you don't do saltwater, I think this would be a great reel for like drop shotting and finesse fishing for bass. Bass and freshwater. Even I think this would be a great bigger size panfish reel and a crappie reel. So I really love this 3000. Very pleased with it already. Like I said, I've already caught like a 21-inch red on it. She held her own. Very happy with it. We're gonna look at some of the numbers here on the back of the box. So it's a gear ratio. It's a 6:1. It's got 11 bearings. It's 33.5 inches per turn on retrieve. 22 pounds of drag. I will say this, whenever I caught that red, it was burning that reel. And I thought I might have been babying that fish a little bit, but that may be because it's a little bit lighter drag and I may have been light on the fish anyways. 7.4 ounces. So all these reels don't feel anything like what they're on the box. The reel is light, even compared to my other 3000s. Mono capacity. 10 pound, you get 140 yards for mono. Now for braid, you get 165 yards of 20-pound braid. So we actually went to 15 and we had 150 yard spool and probably put on 30-40 yards of backing, and probably even less than that, probably 20 yards, I don't want to exaggerate, of backing, and then we put on a full 150 of 15. So I was very pleased with that. So the next reel I received from PISCIFUN is actually going to be one that I'm very excited for to use at the jetty. I like to freeline a lot of stuff. I like to use bigger DOAs that are in that 1 ounce, half ounce, 1.5 ounce. And that's a very weird kind of place as far as like lure wise and rod wise for me. Just because it's kind of a weird weight when you're jetty fishing and you're using big lures. You want a rod that's light enough to throw those. And I had one, and I had a 5,000 on it. But the thing was, with the 5,000, I really wasn't pleased with how light, or that 5,000 is just a little big, a little too big to be throwing those lures and to really feel. So when they sent me the 4,000 here, it's just the Carbon X, not the Carbon X2. This is Carbon X 4,000. One of the things I wanted was a 4,000 with the power handle, and that's kind of hard to find. But PISCIFUN makes a 4,000 with the power handle, so that is the next reel they sent me. Again, this matte black finish. These reels are super smooth. These reels look great, if I'm being honest. Matte black around. It's a 4,000 size reel. I love the 4,000 size reel. So the rod that I actually have this reel on is a 711 heavy power, fast action, 14 to 30 pound line, half ounce to 2 ounce lures. And this is a Rod Geeks blank. So when I'm reading those, it's actually a crankbait. I took a crankbait blank. Blanks don't know what they're gonna be. They're just a blank. So whenever I saw the rod specs and saw the fast tip, I was like, that'd be a great rod for kind of feeling those soft bites whenever they're hitting those DOAs. So that's what we have it on. We have it on the 711 Rod Geeks, a heavy action, fast blank or fast tip. I'm bummed because the weather's been blowing like 30 miles an hour. I just haven't got a chance to go out and use this, but I'm very pleased with this Carbon X 4000. Just it feels low profile even for a 4000. We got plenty of line on there. There is one thing that the line kind of threw me off, but we'll go over the box and I'll explain it. So it's gonna have 11 bearings, same as the Carbon X2. Gear ratio is 6:1, same as the Carbon X2. Retrieve per turn, 38 or 35.8 inches. So about an inch and 1.3 or 2.3 more inches per retrieve than the Carbon X2. But it also is a 4,000, it's a bigger spool. Max drag is 33 pounds. I'm excited for that just because I finally have the rod. I think this is gonna be a perfect combo for freelining mullet for snook. Snook are a little bit harder to catch down here in Texas. I wanna say, I'm not saying I'm the best at it. There's a lot of guys that do it better than me. I'm not gonna give myself that much credit, but I can go out and generally target snook and catch 1 or 2. And one thing I like to do is throw mullet real tight to the rocks. And I think on the 711 with this 4,000, it's finally gonna be small enough, but sturdy and heavy and strong enough of a combo to really fight some big snook. Just because I've caught a couple of snook on bay rods that have taken me around the tip, you know, and they're all slot size snook. They just fight harder. So the weight, again, 9.6 ounces, doesn't feel anywhere close to that. It's way lighter than the 5,000 I had on there, but that's kind of just given because it's a 5,000. So here too, so we're gonna look at the line capacity now. This is what kind of threw me off. So the mono capacity, 12 pounds, you get 215 yards. And then braid capacity, for 30 pound, you get 270 yards. Now here's what threw me off. I don't know if my braid I bought is just bigger diameter, but I only put 20 pound on this because I want to free line bigger baits, bigger small baits, you know, slightly bigger mullet. I actually want to free line shrimp off the end of the jetties. I put 20 on there and I bought 300 yards of 20 and didn't get the whole spool. Since it's 30 at 270 yards, I was assuming if I downsized to 20, I'd get close to 300 yards, but I downsized to 20 and I didn't get a full 300 yard spool on there. That may be my fault. I may put too much backing, but I hardly put any backing on there. Or it may just be the braid I bought, but I still think I got around 250 yards of 20 pound, which that's enough. If I hook those big fish that I want to catch, I should be able to land them. With the drag, and even 250 yards of line, I should be able to play some fish out. So I'm very excited. It's got a power handle. That's my biggest thing. I'm more excited about the power handle than anything, just because it's hard to find 4,000 with the power handle. But like I said, I'm very excited to use this. I'm going to be using this in a lot of videos. You're going to see nothing but these PISCIFUN reels for me, just because I don't like throwing bait casters that much in the bay, and I love throwing big soft plastics off the jetty and free lining baits off the jetty. So you're going to see a lot of those two reels that I just went over. The last reel is I'm most excited about, just because I've never owned one, because everyone else, these reels are extremely expensive. PISCIFUN being a kind of like more of a consumer brand and cost affordable brand, that's why I jumped out to really, take a chance and kind of work with them on this and represent the products, just because I don't think anyone should get priced out on good gear. This is what I'm most excited about. Yep, this is the PISCIFUN Alijoz. So I have never owned one of these bigger, low profile, bigger spool bait casters. Now a lot of guys that probably fish with these are like musky, maybe some catfish, striper, swim baits, right? This is a big, this is probably a really good swim bait reel, if I'm being honest. This retails for $99.99, not $350 to $400 like the reel that looks very similar to this does. But yeah, $100 for this, unless if you use a code. And PISCIFUN, they're always doing some kind of deal on their website already. But that is what I'm excited for. I've never owned one of these. I'm excited to really use it in saltwater. For what I understand, I haven't seen a lot. I did some research on YouTube, and I haven't seen a lot of brands, or haven't seen a lot of YouTubers that use these big, that have used the Alijoz and done like really thorough videos. I've seen a lot where they've kind of just like used it or used it in a clip as they're reviewing it. But I'm excited to throw 3-ounce spoons with this thing, because that's what we're gonna do. It's a 300 size reel. They actually just released the 400, made an announcement on their website, and that's what everyone wanted. Everyone wanted the bigger spool out of the 400. But what we have it on is we have it on a 7.9. It's a 7.9, 2 to 6 ounce, 40 to 60 pound. It's a rain shadow blank. Can't remember the exact model number, and then too, you can't tell, but I spiral wrap the guides around, so it basically turns into a spinning rod on the 4th eye. And then we got an all aluminum seat on here too. But this is what I'm most excited about, just because it's an affordable version of these big power handle bait casters, and we're gonna use it at the jetty. Well, I'm gonna use it like it's intended to be used and throw big baits. So now what we'll do is we'll go over the specs here. So something important too is they make a separate model, they make a different color that's a separate model itself. It's got a different gear ratio. So I'm just gonna go over this one right here. So it is 9 bearings. It's a 5:9:1 gear ratio. The other color, it's a little faster gear ratio. It's got 26.8 inches per turn. So it's a little less there, but that's all right with me. Like I said, we're gonna be throwing big baits, slow rolling big baits, working big spoons, popping off the bottom. 33 pounds of drag. That's gonna be big when fighting fish. And then again, I'll say this is 11.3 ounces reel weight. And it kind of feels like that. It's a bigger reel. It's got the big power handle. If you're not used to using a power handle, I know that's one thing that I'm probably gonna have to learn as I use this reel, is getting comfortable with the big power handle on a bait caster. But like I said, I'm just excited to have it. I've never owned one, and got so excited I went and bought a rod for it and built a rod. So it has its own rod now. So mono capacity, 15 pounds, 190 yards. So for braid, you only get 205 yards of 40-pound test. So that's why everyone wants that bigger spool. But I will say this, I bought 30-pound for it, because that's enough for the jetty. It's enough for bull reds. Still running 125-pound leader. But on the reel, on the spool itself, they have a pretty cool design. It's a little notch that's kind of recessed into the spool that you can just tie your braid straight to that notch. So that's what I did with this 30-pound, and I got so much 30-pound on here, I could see the bottom of the spool of the line spool that I put on there. So I want to say that I got around 250 to 260 yards of 30-pound braid, which that's going to be more than enough to handle the fish that I want to catch. And maybe it's more enough to handle the fish that I might catch by accident. Like maybe this thing can handle a tarpon. Who knows? We're going to be throwing big tarpon lures and big swim baits with it, so you never know. But like I said, super excited to use the Alijoz more than anything. Super excited to use the 4000, and I've already used the 3000. I'm very pleased with it. Just to reiterate, this thing only cost $100. Only costs $100. If you like this video, make sure you keep watching my upcoming videos. I'm going to be using the heck out of these. Once this wind calms down and we get some good weather windows, I'm going to try and get offshore. Really, I'm just going to test all these reels. I'm going to be going to the jetties after work to throw big kingfish lures on this Alijoz and big live baits on the 4000. Like I said, if you want any of these reels for yourself, use my code that's in the description, and then I'll pop it up on the screen again right here. Go to their website, check out their reels. The 3000, it's sturdy. I love it already. Super excited to use these 4000s and the Alijoz. But yeah, like I said, thank y'all. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you're thinking about getting them for yourself for the price, if I'm being honest, the price is the right amount to kind of take the leap of faith and just buy one just to see for yourself. So anyways, thank y'all for watching this. I hope y'all enjoyed this little review.